Oh, Richard.
Hey guys, what's up? Sebi here, coming at you with something a little different. We got some Dragon Ball Fusion World with the boy Mossy.
Yeah, what's good?
Moss, why don't you go ahead and tell him what you did with this deck?
So recently we started playing Fusion World because me and a few of the friends on the Discord were pretty interested in the first Dragon Ball Super game that dropped. And when it first came out, the game was pretty solid, but
Absolute
then,
fire game.
yeah, it definitely took a decline pretty fast. So,
Killed it.
when Fusion World dropped, or I wasn't planning on playing. I honestly, at first, I was like, I was playing a lot of Pokemon, putting a lot of time into that, playing a lot of tournaments on Limitless and stuff like that. But I downloaded the game just to try it out because a few of the friends were playing. So after that, I kind of fell in love with the game just because it really feels like kind of like the original Super when it first came out.
Yeah, they
But
just fixed a lot of the issues of being able to put whatever color card in your deck and just cards doing way too much for barely any mana cost.
for real. Yeah, just like this deck. So just being able to play this Broly. I know everybody hates the H-drop Broly already, but I'm sure going forward in the next couple of sets they'll
It
drop
ain't
other ways to
it
deal with
ain't
it.
worse than Celzino.
No,
Can't be
yeah, that's what you're
worse than
saying. Give me
that card.
Celzino. That's really what it is. I mean,
But
draw a card, pop a card, swing twice, 45k. It doesn't really
but
get much
so you're God
better
rank
than
now, right?
that.
What rank are you? You're God rank in
Yeah, we
your.
hit God rank. I think we're like
Do you want to
681
show them
right
real
now.
quick your God rank, so they know we ain't
Oh, we got a
capping?
couple other decks in the work
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
But
In the future.
hit God rank
Yep.
yesterday.
681.
139 wins, just about. I guess it's a couple
What's
more
your
now, so
victory
it looks
rate?
like 137 wins. We ended up finish with 80% win rate, 50% on the free
Nasty.
match
See, when
because we
he's
only
not
played 2
playing
games.
Gohan, look at that. Not playing Gohan, 50%. Playing Gohan,
Yeah,
80.
we got to check how many games the no free
Disgusting.
match friends won. So 1-1 in the free match. So we'll have to test some more different decks because we dove right into ranked with Gohan once we made it.
Going
Um,
crazy.
yeah, open some packs and stuff like that. Put the deck together, and the deck is crazy. It really is. I
Alright.
know a lot of people like Broly too, but I think Gohan's the way to go if you
Yeah,
want to be
80% win rate. Come on. You got the
nice.
God rank just playing this. All right, so let's go into this God tier list because clearly the 80% win rate speaks for itself.
100%. Yeah, we made a couple changes along the way, but this is kind of like where we landed on. We start with the one drops. You have the one drop Goku, and the one drop Gohan Childhood. So the Gohan Childhood's kind of nice because it lets you find Vegeta and your destructive strength, which really, I mean, if you don't have either of those, you're not going to be able to really play the game how the deck wants to be played. So having that is nice. Just being able to draw the extra cards is nice. And then I find a lot of the time using them to combo them off early versus different aggro decks. Like yellow's going to try to go wide on you if you're playing against Frieza or Cooler. Same with like U7, Goku, and Beerus. So you could use these early before they try to deal with them. Just like stay at 8 and then take the extra cards going forward. That always worked out really well. So cards are great, and I think you have to play them at 4 and 4.
Yeah, that
Then
seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah, for sure. I think these are the one. I mean, and just like any Dragon Ball deck, I feel like there's always going to be the one drops you're drawing or you're searching the
Mm-hmm.
top.
For sure.
Definitely good cards.
All right.
All right, next we have the 2-drop 20k Android 18. She's I wasn't playing it at first. I put her to 1 and then I moved it up to 2 and then I was like, all right, this card's kind of good. So I pushed it to 3 recently and I kind of like 3. I feel like 4 would be too much because I'd rather have the extra 10Ks in the deck since we're running a few extra no combo cards. So, but having her either early to filter the hand and try to find a Vegeta if you have a destructive strength, or vice versa. That worked pretty well with her, and she's a 20k, so you can pressure other leaders down or pressure the board. So card's great. Late game, you could drop her with a 5 drop on I guess your 7 energy turn if you're at that point before Broly, and you can just draw some extra cards, stay alive if you need to.
It
So
filters
card's
out
really
those
good.
no combos too.
Yeah, it's a thing in like the late game too. If you need to drop her down, draw a card, pitch a card. If you don't have the energy to play something, just if you want to push for game, there's definitely a couple different ways to use her. I've used the card a few times, even with like in conjunction with the 8 drop Broly when it's like later in the game. After you ramped a bunch, you just drawing the extra card is always nice. There was a
Yeah.
few times I've had like multiple on board too, and then you're drawing 3 extra cards like with your leader, and then 2 of these. You're drawing 3 cards in a turn. It's kind of nuts.
Ugh.
So this
Disgusting.
card's definitely good. I like it at 3 though. I think 3 is a good like a safe bet. Next for the 2 drops, I have the Future Trunks, the 2 drop 25k. It's a 10k combo, and then it can attack leaders, so it has to attack battle cards. But even just dropping this with 2 energy, and there's a lot of times if you have the extra energy, if you're going second, if you have the destructive strength, if you don't have Vegeta, it's not really worth using the destructive strength with 2 energy and the extra one because then you're just ramping it and you're at 3. So playing something like this down just so it kind of makes your opponent think like, oh, should I drop this 15k and swing into the lead and pressure them, or should I drop this 20k and swing, because then they're just going to use this to kill it. So sometimes you're using it to pressure the board early, just to have your opponent think about like, oh, should I drop something to attack, or you're using it to try to clear stuff kind of like earlier mid game.
Yeah, and the
So
10k combo definitely helps.
that's the thing too, man. The 10k combos later in the game are always insane, and then you could always grab it off the Gohan later. So like if you have like the 9 energy turn, if there's a spot where you're at 9 energy, you could drop the Broly, play the Gohan, add a 10k. So that always feels good,
For
getting the
sure.
extra combo. All
All right.
right, one of the best cards in the deck. I started looking into the game a little bit, and people were playing this at like 3 or playing it at 2, and playing it all like different numbers. I think this card has to be a 4. Like this card's insane. If you could ramp 3 turns in a row and just like and you're staying healthy, you're way ahead of your opponent every time. Especially if you have 2 Broly's to drop, because the card's just broken. So Vegeta's nasty, and just being able to pitch a card and get rid of a 2 or less, it helps a lot versus Frieza. It helps a lot versus Beerus, U7, anything that's going to pressure you down quick. Even later in the game, if you want to just get an extra 20k swing off a leader and you're trying to get through a blocker or something like that, it's definitely helpful. So Vegeta's insane.
Cards pushed.
Yeah, never forget that we made one mistake when we first started playing, that we forgot there had to be a 3 drop in the drop so you could ramp it. So
Oh,
never forget that it has to be a 3 or more in drop so you could ramp with that. Don't
fair.
misplay that ever. Make a mistake once, so you might never make it again. Next card is the 5 drop Goku. Card's absolutely broken. The only time you don't play this card, I feel like, is versus red. It doesn't really feel great versus red because they can just kind of neg it down and it just gets popped. So um, the 25k seems pretty easy for like Beerus to get rid of, especially at the turn around the time you're dropping it. They're probably at the 3 4 energy where they're going to be able to minus 20k or 10k with the leader and another 20k or 15k with the 4 drop Goku SCR. So the card feels kind of, I'd just say, lackluster in that matchup, but versus everything else, if they can't get rid of this thing, your leader's just a 35k once per turn, um, which is insane.
Yeah,
Helps you.
that's disgusting. Yeah.
I mean, just an extra 15k combo every turn is crazy. It really is. So,
Yeah.
especially with this card, and if you have 2 of them down, if they can't get rid of your board, you're just ramping an extra card every time you use your leader ability. So,
Yeah,
and to make sure
definitely
you,
really strong.
if you have 2 of them down, there's definitely a decent amount of times I've had 2 of them if you're able to just control the board, and your leader says, I mean, like once per battle
Ramp
or
one.
once per turn, activate battle. Yeah, ramp one plus 15k. So it's
Filthy.
kind of insane. All right, next card, 10k. Um, for the 30k, 10k combo, 5 drop Gohan. Uh, so a lot of times I use this just for it being a 10k combo, but there's also times where it's good to just help you control the board. So like versus Frieza, if you need to drop it down and swing into their 20ks and pressure their hand, because if they go wide on you, usually their hand gets pretty small, especially if you can pressure the rest of the hand down and clear the board while you're doing it. The card's pretty good. So there's matchups where it's good. I'd say versus yellow, it's pretty solid. And versus red, it's pretty solid. Blue, it comes up definitely because they're playing a little bit slower, so it just kind of gets rid of any problem cards there. It's definitely really good.
Yeah,
The
definitely a
super,
solid card. 10k combo.
yeah, and being able to come in, just be a 30k and come down and pop a 4 or less. You're getting rid of, I mean, get rid of Cooler, get rid of the Goku SCR.
Yeah,
It's
it's
definitely a good
definitely
card to
clean.
go for. Next card is the 5 drop Turtles. This card's insane. I feel like there's definitely a place for it, but you can't have too many of them because it definitely clogs the hand a bit. But there's times, like you said, versus red where you're not dropping the Son Goku 5 drop, where you want to drop this and then push for crit, because then if they have the smaller hand, it's going to be harder for them to push you for game with any double strikes that they're dropping. So this card's really good. This card and the next card we're going to talk about is kind of how you want to push any leader in for their awaken. So like if you're pushing him down from 5 to 4, if you can push it down there with like a crit, and they don't get the extra card, it always feels better. So this card I would definitely keep. Also ramps a card, and it ramps it inactive. So if you need to push in with like a meteor, it's solid.
Yeah, definitely solid. Next, the Broly killer.
Yeah, this card is. I'm bumping this card to 3. This is the one change I'm going to make after playing the deck for a while now is um, the double strike's going to go to 3, and we might think about cutting the 7 drop just because there's so many times where you just want to drop this and either push for game or push awakening or like the card is insane. Just being a 40k double strike, you have 6 energy with this deck almost instantly. It feels like so. Um, and then it comes down and pops 2, 3 or less, which is crazy. I feel like versus most decks, it's getting rid of 2 problem cards, and then it's swinging double strike. If they're at 5, you're pushing them to 3. Versus Broly, it's insane because you just double strike them down. They have to combo out of it if they're at 5. So if not, they're playing against you at 2 life for the rest of the game. So card is, I think, one of the more broken cards in green in the game.
Yeah, honestly.
Next, the 6 drop Gohan. We cut this to 2. I just like felt myself always charging it. It's a 5k. If you play it down, it heals you. But there's plenty of times where, like, if you're getting pressured down by some decks, if you play this, they can combo out of it, the 35k. Um, and you just like want to keep the extra combo in your hand. So like, yeah, you're healing a life, but it really depends on if you feel like they're going to be able to take that extra attack, or if you're going to be able to clear something with it. So very situational, but it's a good card. I think versus certain decks, versus more aggro decks, it could be good. Even in the green mirror, later in the game, just being a 35k to swing at the leader and heal yourself, and if you buy yourself one more turn to play another Broly, it's pretty good. So I think 2's a sweet spot for it.
Definitely.
Next is the Gohan SCR. So this card, I feel like I only want to play it against Frieza, Cooler, or like the green matchup sometimes. Being a 50K is kind of nice to push for game if you if you have them down to one. There was a few times I did that. There's a few times where I cleared huge boards where my hand got pretty low, but I was able to clear the board, and then my opponent's hand was still low, and we were able to play the game out and win it. So, being able to clear an entire board of 5 drops or less is definitely strong. And then you have a 50K body on top of it the next turn to swing. So I think it's a really good card. I like it at one. There's an argument to not play it, but I think we'll continue to play it at one and cut something else so we can play
Yeah,
another android.
it's the spice. It's the tech.
Yeah, it's a good card. It's a good card. It definitely comes up. If you don't need it, you can just toss it in the energy. Because I mean, there's times where seven's kind of like an odd number or like a weird number for the deck anyway. So you might just be going for Broly that turn.
True, true.
Super combo. I mean, it's this or Yamcha, but King Vegeta's a boy, so play
Yeah,
King Vegeta.
super combo.
Yeah, you gotta play him. That's it. They're nasty. Uh, best card in the game. 8 drop Broly. Mini mini cell.
Yeah, really not much to say. I mean, it's just you've read the card, and you know what it
It does
does.
enough.
It's busted.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
Pop a card,
the
swing
funniest.
twice.
The funniest is just playing the green matchup, and like you just want to keep this in your hand if you see it. You can't risk not having it in the green matchup. You know what I mean? Because like they're most of the time they're gonna have one.
Yeah,
So
you
if
need like
you're kind
two
of
or
just playing
three,
Broly,
honestly.
yeah, you're just playing Broly tag at that point. It's like who's gonna combo out of the Broly attacks. But I had a lot of those matchups, man, on the ladder. A lot of them in my favor, but that's why you got to keep the Broly. A lot of people made the mistake of charging a Broly early, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm holding on to two. If I had him early, I was just charging other stuff, taking hits on the leader swings, and you're gonna get to the late game in the green matchup. So hold the Broly.
Yeah, for sure.
You see me
Don't
hold it.
charge
Why not
this
hit the
card.
card? Yeah, just hold on to it.
How many times I've seen
Card
people
fundamental.
lose? We watch them charge it, they play the one, and they just don't have the second one.
The fact that it replaces itself, it pops something, and then
It can
can
pop
swing twice.
itself. Like that's what's crazy is like you can just drop this and pop theirs. Like it
Yeah,
just answers itself.
that's what I'm saying. I kind of just started calling
Disgusting.
it Broly tag because that's what you're doing. You just come through, pop.
It
I'll play
really is
down. I'll
just
pop your
Broly
Broly.
tag.
Yeah, I'll
That's
play my
tough.
Broly. I'll pop yours. Swing your leader twice. But yeah, it's an interesting matchup. Definitely the
For
Gohan
sure.
one. And then a lot of players are playing Instant Kamehameha, the Big Bang, stuff like that. I was thinking about trying them. It just felt more consistent to me to play the destructive strengths. To be honest, there's so many games where 3 or 4 of these ended up in my energy. So destructive strength, you need it. It's a great card. If you can play it on curve, it's perfect. And then gigantic meteor, most of the game, or when you're going to be using it and have enough energy to use it, you'll have 2 or 3 late in the game, and then you could just use it to kind of push for game or save yourself to go into that kind of like game ending turn. So the deck, the deck's insane. It really is. It definitely has. I don't think like I see a lot of people kind of complaining about green as a color already in set one, but I think my argument is I played plenty of games where I could have lost. I definitely could have lost, and there's any game that I did lose was versus like an aggro matchup that was going wide. So it definitely can lose, and it's not in like those matchups aren't, I guess, always like a loss. It's not an auto loss versus like Frieza or U7 or Cooler. So I would say those are probably the best matchups against the deck. It plays pretty solid into everything else. Broly's a pretty tough matchup sometimes, depending on how you play it. So that's the thing about the deck. Like it's a great deck, but if you don't play it the right way, you might have a hard time
Yeah,
taking games.
it's not just like unga bunga play big
Right, like,
guys
I feel like
win.
that's the thing. I feel like people, like, think it's like, "Oh, let me ramp to 8 energy and just drop as many Broly's as I can." Like, sometimes that might work, but
You got to
the
get to
games
the eight.
that
You
like,
got to get to the eight energy.
right, like, the games that are gonna matter is, like, can you survive to get there that long? Like, do you have what you need? Are you playing, like, sequencing your cards the right way to see, like, the cards that you're gonna need? Are you playing a 5 drop Goku against red and then it's getting minused and dying and then they're attacking your leader? Like it's all about like knowing the matchups, playing the cards the right way, and like so like the deck's really strong, but if you're not playing it the right way, you could still lose every game. So um I don't know. It's a really fun game. I think I'm definitely gonna stick with green. I'd like to try blue out a little bit. Vegeta's the boy, so I try to find a build going with that. Well, I know I saw that they got the yellow Vegeta coming out, so that might be something to look at too.
I heard there's a Ginyu leader. Might
There
be
is a game
something.
here.
I heard the
Yeah,
Ginyu might be good. I don't know. I love my aggro decks.
yeah, so you can definitely come out, try some of the Dragon Ball game. I mean, I would definitely give it a go. Broly's a good deck to try with a couple structured decks online if you're looking for something cheaper. If you're not trying to like spend any extra cash on packs and stuff like that.
That's
But
probably your best bet. That or two Friezas is probably like
yeah, the
the
Frieza
best
deck is good
structure
too.
decks to just like jump in and like win games.
Just start learning too. You can just jump into the free ladder. You run into a bunch of people that are running like the same thing too. And that's the thing. Like I saw other people saying like climbing the ladder, um, you're gonna run into a lot of random stuff. That's definitely the truth. Like you'll run into people from every rank. I run into a bunch of gods when I was in bronze, and if you, it's just like it's a card game. So like if you're playing the game the right way and you know your deck and you have a good build, like you can win any game. So um, as long as you draw a little bit
Yeah,
better
it's
than your
just
opponent.
if you play it at DBS, you know like the sequencing
Yeah,
and what you're charging matters. And like
right, 100%.
your rank, sure, being God, like you'd expect them to be doing everything right, but like
That's the
sometimes they
thing. I
just
ran into a
charge
lot
that
of
wrong
people.
card. You
I'm gonna
know?
be honest. I ran into a lot of God players that I like. I don't even know if I lost to any of the God players, to be honest, on my way up the ladder. But I've played a lot of people that were in like silver or gold that had full decks, and it was a great game. Like, and some I won and some I lost. So that's the thing. Like, you're gonna play a bunch of people that it kind of and like I saw this on another YouTube video, but somebody was saying like it feels like kind of like going to locals. Like it kind of did. Like you're gonna run into people that are just trying the game out. You're gonna run into people that know what they're doing and have been playing for a long time, and you're gonna run into people that like come home from work and just play a game or two. So if you like the game, I mean it's a great game to play, especially if you like Dragon Ball. The animations are sick too. I know some people are looking for an option to like kind of stop the animations, but there's already a skip button, so
Yeah, the animations
I
are
think they're sick.
definitely
Yeah,
sick. I don't know.
I think they're sick. Yeah,
I can
I think
understand if you're losing and you're watching the animation and wanting to turn it off, but
yeah, no, for
when you're
sure.
winning, those
So
animations be hitting.
we'll keep pushing for God. If you see me online,
Yeah,
toss me
y'all
down
better
or something
start
like
beating
that. I'm
him.
always down to play.
Y'all gotta take that 80% down. Can't be letting him
Yeah,
drop
for sure.
80% on y'all.
We had a couple of really nice win streaks up the ladder too. We had I think
uh,
our best win streak was we had a 24 game win streak.
it
And then most recently we went on like a 18 or 19 game win streak.
played
So
against
it's
some
actually
good players too, like
yeah,
UniX
we
TCG.
had
We
some.
caught him on his stream.
We did. That was a good game too. We were playing
Yeah,
the Green Mirror.
yep.
We had a few other people we played against.
Yeah, there's a
So
couple
definitely
other
some close
YouTubers.
games
It
and
was dope.
some nail biters. It was a fun climb. So I definitely recommend the game to anybody that enjoyed the other Dragon Ball game or is just trying to try out a new game. Even if you like One Piece, it's definitely if you like Dragon Ball, I'd try it out.
Oh, for sure. Well, I just wanted to say thanks, Moss, for the deck profile. You fucking
Definitely
killed
anytime.
it. 682. Soon we're gonna see him in the top 100.
Yeah, we'll definitely keep
Uh,
climbing and see what we
I
can
mean,
do.
he might have the best list. I'm just saying, 80%. I don't know. Might be best list. But all
Find
right.
out.
Thanks
Take
for
a good
watching the
video.
video, guys. Moss. Oh, you said you might be starting a channel yourself. You said possibly.
I was thinking about it. I saw a lot of comments on other videos of people saying that there's not really a lot of content about like how to play different decks. So um, I
Well,
feel like we have a lot of knowledge in the game, and there's an online client, and I can play a lot of tournaments and stuff, even just right here on my computer. Uh,
all right.
Finding the
Well,
cards is kind of hard. I mean, we'll definitely
I
look
better
into
tune into that. I'll definitely, when he makes his channel, I'm gonna link it here, and I'll make a video shouting him out. If y'all are interested in that. But yeah, thanks for the video. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. If y'all want more content like this, just leave a comment down below, leave a like on the video, and like I said, stay tuned for Moss's channel coming out. It'll definitely be some informative content. I mean, you see, he went pretty in depth with his deck profile, under 30 minutes. Shout out Vin, his 40-minute deck profile.
Yeah,
And
shout out
peace,
the
y'all.
boys.
Yeah, shout
Later.
out the boys and peace. Have a good one.